Hey, what's up you guys? Max here, leader of Team NV, and today we're going to be doing a commentary going over the new updates that KI brought out. It's pretty much, if I could explain it in a nutshell, I would say that this new Tower of Manchu is an add-on from the original Wu Manchu quest, where most players used to go there to farm for his wand, for PvP and all that good stuff pretty much. So I would explain that this is pretty much Pirate 101's version of Waterworks, where you come here to get your gear and all that good stuff. So today, the person that's going to be joining me is going to be Deadeye Alex Hawkins, which on Central you may know him as Alex Deathflame.
Hello guys.
Alrighty, so today me and Alex are just going to be explaining to you guys pretty much the main updates that are going on, alongside with the tower and what all the drops are going on right now. We probably won't be able to have time to finish the whole dungeon, but we're gonna pretty much try to explain most of everything within the dungeon that we've already found out, and we can edit anything within the video description for you guys if we ever missed anything. So let's get it started. We're gonna start on round 1, and they also added a find team there, but we'll explain that here later on. So let's get it started. Enter now. Do not show this, and go in. Alright Alex, so I guess main thing we can start off first is let's explain to these guys about the different floors. Would you like to explain it?
Yeah, sure. So the tower has 10 floors in total, and each of the floors is pretty much something different. It's pretty much, it goes from easiest to the hardest. So the first floor that you're seeing right now is just gonna be a regular fight, and then as you go, there's like different things that might happen. So we can explain that more later.
Yeah, alright. Alongside with that, you guys, within the floors, I believe it's the 8th floor, correct? 8th or 9th floor with the Nefarious 5, right?
It's the 8th. Yeah, it's the 8th floor. Yep.
Alright. Yeah, well, I guess we can explain that while we're doing this if you want.
Yeah, so that battle is probably the hardest one of the whole dungeon, and is what prevents a lot of people from being able to solo the dungeon. Even though there has been a couple people that have done it by themselves. But it's pretty much you fight a team of 5 full pirates, and they have pretty much the same powers that any other pirate has. So it's one from each class, and they also have different talents from pets or talents that regular pirates don't have.
Yeah, so also guys, while you're fighting the Nefarious 5, there is a potion that it gives you the option to drink, and you want to pretty much explain what the potion does if you drink it too early.
Right, so the potion pretty much, what it does is that if you drink it, it charms you in a way, but it charms you permanently, so you become part of the enemy team, which means that you're going to be attacking your own team members and whatever. So usually, you don't want to drink the potion, but there's a new badge that comes out with it, that if you drink the potion and you're able to win the battle, so pretty much your teammates are able to kill you and kill the rest of the 5, then you're able to get a badge that makes your eyes glow. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because if you guys haven't noticed, I believe Kim has the patch on right now, and it just makes your eyes glow red, which is a really cool feature they added to the game. And we're gonna try to all get it because it matches our clan colors, so it's so convenient. So we would love to just use it. So that's a cool thing to add, you guys. Alongside of that, just to get, if you guys, because originally, if you haven't done this tower, the tower is at least 2 hours to an hour long. So it's very long and tedious, but mainly if you have at least a good group of AoE, anybody that can do spread damage, then it usually goes by fast with musketeers and witch doctors.
Yeah, I think the big part that makes it last so long is the animations, because you have, especially if you run like a full group of 4 people, and there's so many enemy units that it takes forever, like each time.
Yeah, it's like back in Aquila whenever we had to fight Edens. You know how you would kill them and their kill animation would just take forever.
Oh yeah, I remember that. So I don't know.
So it's kind of like that.
It might be a good idea for King's House to do something about the animation, like speed them up or something else. Because
yeah,
as it is right now, we usually don't want to go as a full group of 4 because of how long it takes.
Yeah. So originally we were gonna run 3, but we had a member that wanted to join, so might as well run 4. So the more the merrier. But in this case, if you guys really want to farm this place and get your gear, then I would say at least run 3s, and maybe 2s. But this place is kind of hard to solo. Definitely because with all the floors it comes with and all the, I believe there's a puzzle, correct?
No, not really. It's just what makes it hard to solo is mostly the Nefertorious 5 battle.
I see.
So that battle by yourself, because you only go in the battle with yourself and 1 companion. So if you go solo, it's just going to be 2 units against 5. So you usually want, like, it's best to do it at least as a duo, or 3 or 4. Probably 3 is the most efficient way. But
yeah, that makes sense, because if someone is able to solo it, then I mean, kudos to you. I mean, you definitely should make, like, I'll try to solo it, but I know I'm gonna fail, but I'll try to do it for you guys later on within the patch, maybe whenever it goes actually live, so it would be a little bit more rewarding knowing that I soloed it on a live roam rather than test roam, because then it's not going to mean too much. So I'll try to make that video for you guys, but if I can't, I'm so sorry, but I'm pretty sure someone out there can do it. So next thing we're going to be going over is the gear that's dropped here, and pretty much all of you that are level 65, this place is a must to farm, because if you ever play Wizard 101 and if you remember the time where they released Waterworks, that kind of made everybody's gear inferior, and you needed Waterworks in order to just be good when it comes to like either PvP or just have good stats overall.
Yeah, so this is an amazing gear here. Every class, so there's kind of 2 types of gears. So there's one that just drops that any class can use it, and it can actually be sold into the bazaar. And it's the first time that we have a lot of items that give so many so many like different cards that you can just wear in any other pirate.
Yeah.
But then you also have the class specific gear, and that gear is like the powerful one. So usually they give 2 cards, and that's the first time that you have so much like gear in pirate giving like 2 strong cards. So it's a pretty big deal.
Alrighty, so now we're gonna move on to you guys because with this update, it's not just a tower, there's a little bit more things that we're gonna be going over, which is companion changes. So first things first, we'll do all the companions that can learn basic talents now. So you can carry this one out, Alex, if you want.
Okay, so one of the big changes to companions is that before, certain companions like swashbucklers, they couldn't learn the tough talent, which gave them more health. But now all basic talents are unlocked for every companion. So even swashbucklers can learn tough, and witch doctor companions can learn accuracy, which was a big deal for them, because the accuracy was horrible before. But so that should affect everything in general, PvE and PvP. Because now our companions are generally going to be stronger in any fight. So that's a good thing.
Yep. And alongside with that, all you swashbucklers out there, they I would call this more than a buff, because you're not really losing more than you're actually gaining more. So pretty much with swashbucklers now, the swashbuckler companions in that case. So if you have really good swashbuckler companions like what I'm using, like Toro, Sanjuro Wagu, and Yagi, they're all swashbucklers. They hit high damage. They have minus 50 damage to traps now. So say if a musketeer is trying to use AoE traps to keep your team at bay, now if you really want to sort of get a rush going and you have swashbuckler companions, if they step on a trap, or I would say mostly just traps, so they would have minus 50 damage now, because that's usually the main effect that swashbucklers have. So they actually threw it onto companions, so I think that's going to be pretty useful in the future of PvP on Pirate 101. So next things we're going to be going over, you guys, is combat changes, and I'm talking Bladestorm, Double Tap, Mojo Rising, and all that good stuff. So Alex, you want to go over this one?
Right, so there were 2 big changes that came into the combat of Pirate 101. So first, as Matt mentioned, was the Blaze Storm and Double Tap and Mojo Rising changes. So now these talents, which activated before only when you kill an enemy unit, now they can also activate when you land a critical. This means that any critical that you land, including criticals from power cards, so like Nausicaa's critical cards, they activate the double tap or the Blaze Storm or whatever. So now you can get a longer chain going. So let's imagine someone like Gornala, right? So he does his charge. The charge will activate the Blaze Storm that he has, and he's also still gonna do the glancing blow. So that's already 3 hits guaranteed. And then on top of that, he's probably gonna do Relentless because there were 3 different hits where the Relentless could have activated.
Right.
So it's pretty big change.
Yeah, because once they actually do, because there's lots of controversy about how ranked PvP on here will be, and I mean, I guess they're trying to form it before it actually starts with all these changes and whatnot, so it kind of makes sense. So you can tell it's somewhat of a hint that they might bring PvP over here or they might not, but with all these recent changes to companions and PvP in general, I think they're kind of leaning towards it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just wish that they will think about these changes a little bit sometimes, because sometimes some of the changes that they do can be a little broken.
Yeah.
If they were to ever release ranked PvP.
Yeah. Okay, so next thing, you guys, I'm gonna explain to you about the Swashbuckler buff to Hidden. Now, everyone that pretty much uses Hidden, alongside with people that have it on their gear or anything like that, then let me just tell you guys right now that it's gonna be way more useful than it is now, because now you cannot interrupt Hidden with bombs or any sort of AoE. The only way a Swashbuckler's Hidden can go down is if they just waste the rounds on not hitting or they actually attack.
Right. So this is huge, because the big counter to the Hidden talent, to the Hidden power before, was that usually you will save your gunnery that you can train from the Privateer class. You will save it up and then just use it whenever the opponent, whether it be a Swashbuckler or any other class that train Walk in Darkness, they would just hide and you would just do the AoE attack and take them out of Hidden. But now, AoE attacks, they can still hurt the enemy units, but they don't take them out of Hidden anymore. So you can, it's a huge change, because now you're almost guaranteed to get hit with like a ×2 Assassin Strike, which is gonna be ridiculous. You can take like a whole companion down in one turn.
Yeah.
And this pretty much no counter to it. As well, okay. There was a new piece of gear that was discovered in Central that gives an eye patch. It gives an eye patch that gives you a pet talent called Scent. And what Scent does is that it rebuilds hidden units. But the thing about this piece of gear is that it only has a range of 1. So pretty much to rebuild a hidden unit, it has the person that's hidden has to actually go within 1 square of you. So in terms of PvP, it can be useful, because that means that usually you yourself will never get hit by a hidden attack, but it's still troublesome for your companions, because your companions are probably there's gonna be ways for the opponent to kind of navigate around it, so they can hit your companions without ever going from you.
So it's a big change, which is gonna actually carry on to our next opening topic, and this is gonna be big to all of you that are actually very involved in PvP and are in the PvP community, and you just follow it very strongly. So we're gonna pretty much talk about the future of PvP, and me and Alex are gonna go over our thoughts on the gear and strategies that are gonna be best. So you can take it off.
Yeah, you pretty much have 2 experts right here. So you have Matt, he's really good at team PvP, because that's usually what he does.
Yeah.
And then myself.
Then you have Alex, the master of 1v1s.
I wouldn't say a master.
Well, not master. You're just very experienced, because I still remember when we first found you. You were purely a 1v1 player, even from Wiz all the way to Pirate. You just been very experienced with 1v1s. and then we pretty much had to form you into a team player to have actual competitive play with 4v4 and whatnot.
I remember that. I remember that my first, I think actually my first like team matches in Pirate in general were done with MB.
Yeah.
When I was like trying out, so I remember that. But yeah, so I have been doing 1v1 since for over a year already, so I guess I do kind of have some experience on it. But I don't know. So what, you want to start talking about team PvP first, or 1v1?
We can start off with 1v1 for the players on Central that are going through ladders and whatnot and want to see, you know, with the future ladders going on and whatnot. So let's go with over 1v1 and we'll finish it strong 4v4 and we'll move on.
Okay, so anybody who's like does PvP on Pirate knows that it's pretty much two different, like there's two different rule sets that you play by. So usually you have the central rules and you have non-central rules. So they can be pretty different on the meta, on like how people play because of the rules that central has. But just in general, these changes are gonna kind of put a class, which was Swashbucklers. They were pretty much towards the bottom of the standings, so between like which 5 classes were the top in 1v1s. They're probably gonna be close to the top, if not the top class.
Yeah.
Just because of the changes to the hidden powers, which is, it's ridiculous when you think about just one power changing and now a class is like completely OP.
Yeah, it's like it takes one change. It depends on that one change, but if it's a one great change, then that class will actually rise above. Because if I remember correctly, Swashbucklers at the time, when this update's not even coming, they were like, I would say they're not the best, but not the worst. You would have to be very, very strategic on how you would use a Swashbuckler. Correct?
Yes. There's a few Swashbucklers out there. You know, our own Sierra and then William as well. They're really good Swashbucklers. That if you really know how to manage them and move around, then you can beat like even the top classes like Buccaneers and Musketeers. It just takes more strategy.
Yeah. So with that, I guess we can tell you guys now that I want to say at least a confirmation that now that Hidden's coming up now, anybody that actually has Hidden is gonna be a little bit more successful in PvP because you're gonna be doing extra damage alongside with your companions. So if you have, like, let's say a Swashbuckler wants to use a team Hidden on his companions, then you know for a fact that those companions that are in Hidden, they're gonna do some damage. And I'm saying if they get Goro or they get anyone with a guaranteed critical within a Hidden, it's gonna do some real nasty damage. So that's something you're gonna want to watch out for. So I would say the only thing that would be proper to actually counter something like that would have to be a musket, because you know muskets, I'm waiting for the day for muskets to get OP, because I know for a fact that they have so much AoE, they have a lot of long distance attacks, and they're masters at zoning. Like if they can zone and set up correctly, that Hidden, even if they're hidden, they're walking on traps, you're doing damage to them, which is fine, rather than just dropping bombs. And you're just doing a little bit more than anyone else can actually do.
Right, so I think it's gonna be a challenge, because this currently we think it's a glitch, but it might not be. So when you're hidden, you're able to walk through the traps, so through like bombs, and you take no damage at all, and the bombs get deleted. So
oh man.
Yeah, so right now we're thinking it might be a glitch, but if it's not, then I don't even think Musketeers will be able to stop it. So usually, because the thing is that the classes that give you the most AoE damage are Musketeers and Witch Doctors, but they are the range class that usually have to play more defensive.
Yeah. And
a Swashbuckler or a Buccaneer that can also get hidden, they can just charge right in before you're able to do anything. So
yeah.
It's right now I would say like there's very little counter at all to the hidden strategies, and I wouldn't be surprised if we have like duels and matches where it's just 2 people high for like 10 turns and for like 5 turns and just wait it out.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the only thing that, I mean, I guess privateers might have a small chance depending on how much fortresses they actually have in their setup. If they have enough forts to give themselves and their companions, then it's gonna pretty much be a match of who can outweigh who, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm scared of. So the big reason why I do think that swashbucklers are going to be on top is because the past few months in PvP has mostly the big strategy that has been successful has been buccaneers pretty much charging into the opponent. So a more offensive style than back in the past when privateers were on top, where it used to be more defensive. So now, so that style that's already been building up, swashbucklers can now take advantage of that because with this hidden talent, they can just be even more aggressive. So it's gonna be even this less chance for their opponents, especially range classes, to defend against swashbucklers with like a full melee companions and just just charge right in.
Because especially with the gear set that's dropped here for swashbucklers makes it even more scarier.
Oh yes, I mean every piece. So the gear that's dropped in the Tower of Moosh is usually the hat, robe, shoes, and then
it's a whole set pretty much.
Yeah, it's the whole set. So it's 6 items in total. And I guess 7 if you include the weapon.
Yeah.
And all 7 of the gear that swashbucklers can get, they can get assassin strikes on it. So usually you probably don't want to wear the full set because you still want to have Leviathans and Balos Fortress.
Yeah.
But that's still a good amount of hiddens. It usually gives them hidden and it gives them assassin strike.
Yeah.
So,
which is really scary because I mean a guy that has at least more than, I would say, more than 2 hiddens is already OP. Like if you have 3 to 4 hiddens, like I would say GG, because I mean you have hiddens for days. Hiddens for days equal tons of damage, and tons of damage. I mean our companions are gonna die real quick unless they have a fortress.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous the damage output there. And the funny thing, what makes this hidden change so scary in a way, is that you can also use it defensively. So like if, let's say you're almost close to dying or whatever.
Oh, you can hide for days, buddy.
You can just hide, because usually the only way that they can attack you is with AoE, and usually the person that has AoE is the actual pirate character. So it's usually only gonna hit you like once. So you can just hide, then move back. And during those turns that you have left of hiding, you can just heal or use another shield on yourself. So you can use it both ways. And swashbucklers can get like 4, 5, 6 hiddens, and then like 3, 4 assassin strikes and stuff like that. So
it's crazy, man. And I guess we can go over the gear now with most of the classes. We found out most of what their gear actually does within the new sets. So let's say privateers out there, all you privateers, including me. Our gear is going to be giving fortress and I believe heals, as in I believe it's a revive, or is it a
it's revive. It's fortress revive. And revive, yep.
So fortress and revive, so it's going to be really useful to us. I mean, at least with us privateers getting that kind of gear, that means that we can somewhat survive against the most OP hidden in the world. So we have forts and we got revive, so we can heal a lot and we can just D up. So it's really awesome. With muskets, I'll let you take muskets since you're a musket yourself, so you can take that one away.
The musketeer gear that I've seen so far, so it usually has either one of these 3 powers. So you see that you have a set of bombs, and a critical range hit, a sniper shot. So those are like the 3 that I see a lot. I know there's also a couple with like the claw trap, the single trap, but usually you don't really want to wear that because that's not really worth it.
Yeah.
So I see most of them going with the bombs and the sniper shots, which makes it, it fits into our playstyle. So that way you can just sit back, protect yourself with bombs, and then just sit them from afar with the sniper shots.
Yeah.
But the way that you can ignore traps nowadays, you still have to worry about people just charging right into you.
Yeah, that's gonna be the biggest deal. Like, it's just really surprising. With that one change, it kind of just messes up the whole algorithm of Pirate, because Hidden was something like no one really used, only like if you were doing like maybe a 4v4 and you want to do like a Nausicaa charge and you want to get that one critical hit while she's hidden. But now with this one change, it pretty much changes the whole mood of the game now, which is really weird in my opinion.
And I like the change. It's not a bad change in general.
Not at all.
Because I agree, because Hidden needed like a buff. It was really too weak and too easy to get rid of.
Yeah.
I just wish there was another counterplay in a way. Because there's barely any counterplay now. When you don't have the counterplay to a strategy, then it's a really bad thing.
Yeah.
So if it had any counterplay at all, well, it does have some counterplay, but it's really specific. But if you have more general counterplay, let's say like Overwatch, like removing it or something like that, then it will be better, because that's something that a swashbuckler can still play around. If it's like Overwatch, you can just go around the Overwatch. Like we need more options to counter the hit.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, since this is test and we're testing everything, KingsIsle is looking for us to just see everything, go over everything, and then leave notes, because you can report bugs and you can leave them notes on what you suggest that should be in the game. Because if you guys haven't noticed, KingsIsle does listen to most people. They listen to a lot of people, and they're really awesome when it comes to just their community. Because if a large community ever has a problem or trouble with something, they'll update it to where it fits their needs. So hopefully anyone that's watching this and you're thinking of really strategic counters to this new hidden buff, you should leave a note and just tell them like, hey, it would be cool if you guys can do this while hidden can, all that good stuff. So that's what me, Alex, and the rest of the team are going to be doing, just to give them some more ideas on what to do, because I think it really helps them out more, so they can actually get the game running to where it's gonna, because right now Pirate, the reason we love Pirate so much from where we used to first play Wiz is that Pirate is kind of balanced at the moment. Would you say? Like, I think
in a way.
Yeah, in a way. Like, I would say it's more balanced in Wiz rather than going against, like, if anyone that plays Wizard still, I mean, going against level 100 ices or any sort of ice with like 78 resistance to something is crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Right, but
yeah,
we just gotta leave whatever we think about and report anything and any suggestions, and hopefully they listen. But
yeah.
But so getting back to the gear, so we did privateers, we did musketeers, swashbucklers, like we mentioned before. Most of the gear gives assassin strikes and hiddens, so it's pretty standard. It's just really offensive. For Buccaneers, I saw critical hits and then the charge. So the accuracy reduction charging, which is what Buccaneers are known for. So that's obviously a good thing.
Yeah.
And
I just got a hat, Ginger's Casa, and it's +7 weapon power, and it has Walk in the Shadows.
Oh, did we? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, there you go. So, actually, if you can see the hat, it also gives Assassin's Gloom. So now you can either get Assassin Strikes or Assassin's Gloom.
Oh my god. That's really OP. I wouldn't say OP, but that's actually really useful, because you can go hidden, and if you use this hat I'm looking at right here, guys, Walk in the Darkness and Assassin's Gloom, you can go in the hidden legitimately and run around and poison people until they get to half health, and then you can just finish them off. Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Because the Assassin's Gloom doesn't remove your hidden, so you can pretty much do Assassin's Gloom, and then the next turn do the Assassin Strike, and you still get like the ×2 for the Assassin Strike.
Yeah, man, that's scary, man. That's really scary.
And the last class I'm missing, I think, is the Witch Doctors.
Witch Doctors, yeah.
Right.
Witch Doctors and Buccaneers, actually.
No, I just finished mentioning Buccaneers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
For the Witch Doctors, I haven't seen much of their gear, but I think most of it gives the AoE drain that they got, and he also gives them the Mojo Blade or Mojo Reaver. I don't know which one of them he does. So pretty much it gives them more AoE attacks and more of the single attacks that you can hit when they're like when you're next to them.
Yeah, and I believe there are some that actually give Mojo Strike alongside with the AoE drain, but I'm not too sure. I would have
Oh,
to,
really?
yeah,
Okay.
from what I've heard from some of our couple of witch doctors that we do have on the team, they said that some actually do give like Jobu's Kiss and Mojo Storm.
Okay, if that's the case, then that's great for privateers in general because they want all the AoE,
Yeah,
most of the time. So if they can get more Mojo Storms in top of Jubu's Kiss, then it's gonna be really scary
yeah.
fighting against them.
It's gonna it's gonna be everything's kind of getting balanced out in a way with this new gear going to play. And we don't know yet if they're going to be adding more new items to the Crown Shop. We're not entirely sure of that because when we checked the Crown Shop, there was nothing entirely new. But we'll let you guys know in the future while test is still going on that if anything new pops up, we'll let you guys know either on Central or I can edit the video description for you guys. So that's pretty much it. Like, have we covered everything?
I think we still need to go back to team PvP because I think we only talked
Oh
about
yeah.
1v1s and we didn't go back to team PvP.
Alright, so let's get it started. 4v4s, guys, since that's gonna be pretty big in the near future, as there are ever since NB first started to where there's a lot of teams now in the PvP community, which was my goal at first, is just to like maybe try to motivate some more more people to actually make PvP teams so we can have a fun community going on, you know. So let's get it down to 4v4. So with 4v4s now, back then when you could use double privateer, double witch doctor, that's still gonna be somewhat viable when it comes to team play. But I think if you want to do like some real damage, maybe even double buck, double swash would be really scary. Double buck, double swash, or double privateer, double swash is really good too.
I think in the end you still want to have at least one privateer, especially now with all the gear they get. So they're gonna have like 6 fortress, well 7 if you count the one that they already get. So it's gonna be like
Yeah.
7 fortress, and then like 9 or 10 different heals. So you can just have the privateer just sitting back, shielding everybody that goes in to attack.
Yeah.
And yeah, you probably do want to have a swashbreaker just to use the hidden and have them go in and attack whoever you want to get rid of.
Yeah,
So
alongside with because I'm pretty sure if you also can do at least like one privateer, one buck, and double swash, that would be good. Witch doctors might start falling out of play in 4v4. It all depends on how they actually work it in. So if they actually, like with ours, we're gonna be running practices with all our competitive combos to see what works really well, what works okay, and what just doesn't work at all. So what we'll do is we'll make 3 tiers, you guys. We'll call the first one God tier, so which is like the unbeatable one, and then we'll say normal tiers that you can run, and then just the bad tiers. So we're gonna be doing that, and we'll update you guys on how that goes out. So
I like that. I like that idea. We should definitely do like a companion tier or like just pirate.
yeah,
Tier
because
as well.
I feel like we're still in the musket meta where people will always have to use a musket in their clan matches. But
Right.
I'm trying to push 4v4 into a melee base meta to where people like to use like my tier. I love using double egg Shen Goronado. Like that's what I like to use because it's a triple reduce accuracy right there.
Right.
So that's what I like to use.
I think it's gonna depend, like you said, on what class falls out of flavor. So if witch
Yeah.
doctors do fall out of flavor, then that means less AoE attacks, which means that you probably want to use more melee companions. Because the reason that people don't use melee companions right now in 4v4s is because you can get killed really easy by just constant AoE attacks.
Yeah.
So if they do fall out of flavor, then you should be able to just use any companion without fear of just being charmed or being Mojo Storm to death before you even make it.
Yeah. So it's gonna be. We'll see how the meta moves, cause ever since, cause I know back a long time ago when we did our first clan match, we ran That's when we started. That's not like not many people actually use Pepe that much. So, and then we started using Pepe in a lot of our clan matches, and people watched them. And they're like, oh wow, you know, Pepe's actually somewhat viable because he has utility and he has really good damage. So now that Pepe is being used and all these others are being used, it's been sticking for a while. But like I said, we're trying to move the meta into a new place so everyone can kind of, you know, have more fun rather than doing the same old thing all the time, you know.
Yeah, it's always fun to bring new stuff to the arena.
So that's what we're working on, you guys. So when it comes to this hidden change and all these other companion changes going on into 4v4 play, it won't, I don't want to say it won't change dramatically, but it's gonna change to a good extent, because now with hidden, I mean, you have so many possibilities when it comes to what you want to run now. So like I said, we're gonna try to practice a couple of matches about, at least I would say 3 to 4 times a week, and just see how everything goes out and plays out. And we'll also try it out if you guys ever come out to Open Realm, and if you ever want to run like a Envy versus the fans kind of match, we can do that, and we can all just experiment on different things rather than just doing the try hard all musket meta, just to see, so everyone has a better understanding of how 4v4s are going to work in the future for players that are going to want to do 4v4 ranked. Because I believe that with Pirate 4v4 Wizard isn't really like even a thing, but I believe 4v4 in here is going to be a pretty cool thing to do, in my opinion. Yeah, it should be pretty fun. So I think that's most of it. Have we covered everything? I believe so.
Yeah, in terms of you know, there's a bunch of other updates, of course, that you could check out by going to the update notes. But we pretty much wanted to concentrate on what directly might affect PvP, the PvP community. So I think we've gone over most, if not everything, already.
Yeah. So I'll put the update notes in the link down below this video, so you guys can check that out and read all the minor and like just the minor things that you want to just, you know, have in mind. But we just really want to explain things that would be going down with the PvP community, because that's what our bread and butter is. That's what we care about a lot, since me and Alex are both PvP players, of course. So that's what we mainly try to focus on, is to help out the PvP community, for them to have a better understanding on what's going on. So you guys, right now we are on, man, I haven't even kept track of the floors. I just know, are we on like the 4th, 5th floor?
This is the 3rd floor.
Oh man.
Right, so in the 3rd floor, you see those statues that you see over there? You usually don't want to hit them, because if you break them, it summons the Corrupt Alliance.
And they will maul you, people.
Yeah, the Corrupt Alliance have like a sneaky, which means that they can be hidden like at a turn. You know, in this battle, we have pretty much hit all of them already. So it made
I know, I just noticed that. I'm like,
yeah, so it kind of made the battle harder for us, but you know, for future reference, guys, you should probably avoid hitting the lions.
Yeah, and if you guys want that awesome new, I believe it's the badge called the Notorious 5 or the Nefarious 5. I guess it's just a reference to Notorious, I guess, in a way. So if you guys really want that badge just to impress your friends with having red glowing eyes, what you want to do is when you're on the 8th floor and you're fighting them, right at the end when you're about to kill like the last person, drink the potion, and then there you go. That's the easiest way we've found out how to do it. So
yeah. One tip that I like is, before you drink the potion, make sure that you discard your whole hand. That way you won't be able to hurt your teammates as much.
Yeah, so for you swashbucklers out there that want it, if you have any assassin strikes, you better get rid of that. And for all the muskets out there, get rid of random mortar shells, please. And that's pretty much it. So I guess we can close the video off here. What I'm gonna do for you guys is, after this video, I'm gonna be making a followed up video of us finishing the tower I'll start it off at the actual floor that matters, which is what, like the 7th floor is where everything kind of gets started, and then we'll do 7, 8, 9, 10, because these floors are just, you know, fighting pigs and, you know, just climbing. So what I'll do for you guys is after this I'll make a separate video of us just doing a walkthrough and I'll explain everything, or I can just run some, you know, just chill music and you guys can see what's going on, or I can just leave the volume on. I'll think of all that as soon as I'm finished with this. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please subscribe and leave a like, because every like you guys leave helps us out so much and continuing our series of videos, because you guys helped us out so much. We've already reached like 300 something subscribers. That's like a giant milestone for us, so we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And I believe I'm going to talk to the team really soon about doing a 300 sub giveaway. But like last sub giveaway, we had trouble contacting people when it came to having that tournament match, because a lot of people, that was during spring, I think it was spring or summer, and you know, people were just off, you know, doing their own thing. So what I'm gonna probably do, you guys, is I'm gonna get some bundles, like maybe 2, 3, and I'm gonna make a draw. And all you gotta do is sign up with your I'll do a little sign up thing for you guys, and you guys can sign up, and it's gonna pretty much randomize all the names. It's gonna pick 3 random names, and pretty much the 3 random names I'm gonna get, you're gonna have to leave your email so I can email you the code or however you want it sent to you. Then that's gonna work out. It's just us saying thank you to the community for supporting us for so long, and it's been a great help. I mean, without you guys we wouldn't be here right now, so thank you so much. Alex, do you have any closing words you want, or any plugs?
No, thank you. Yeah, thank you to the fans and to everybody that shows up to Open Run Friday every Friday. Those are usually really fun, and that's how I started. That's how we came from MV. I just went to the Open Runs. Yeah. So just keep going and having fun with us. And if you want any more updates on the test run, just, you know, go check out Central, the test run section. You usually can find a lot of updates there, and people talking about and pictures of the gear. So you can go over there and join our tournaments too, you know.
Yeah, join. I mean, you guys should also join Central tournaments. I mean, they're free. I mean, they're always fun to do. I'm not a 1v1 man, because you know, you guys know me. I'm a team 4v4 player. But Alex definitely enjoys it, and some of our members do like to do 1v1 tournaments, and they're slowly starting up 2v2 tournament. It's a slow rise, but it's happening. So just keep a lookout for those kind of tournaments, you guys, because those are always really fun too. And I think that's pretty much it. So this has been Alex Deathflame and Max with Team Envy. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Peace.
Well, you know what? Look, I would say that do something that you're truly passionate about. But before you can do that, you got to do what? You got to put in your work. You got to put in your time. You got to hold this thing just like Homeboy. You got to put in your work, but you got to find that thing that, honest to God, turns you on.